Hi there, my name is DevLog, and way back in the end of June, I participated in my first ever game jam, the United Game Jam 2020. If you're unfamiliar with the term, a game jam is a marathon where game developers challenge themselves to make a whole game from scratch in a limited amount of time, either solo or in teams. In this case, the time limit was 48 hours. 2 days. Yep, that's it. And because I am crazy and just a little bit stupid, I decided to go at it alone. Well done, Sai, you hella proud of yourself, aren't you, you little Just to put it in perspective, I had been game deving for only 3 months at the time, and this was my first game jam. To prepare, I watched a lot of videos covering game jams to see how other devs went around to doing it. So that's it, 3 PM. Hype and panic on the Discord. The theme is 2. Okay, I can do this. That's not too bad. Time for brainstorming. So after a little bit of soul searching, I came up with this idea. You'd be controlling 2 players at the same time, and the goal is to bring the 2 together. But each one of the characters holds the power to destroy the other. You kind of have to find a balance between getting close and not killing each other. Happy with that idea, I started putting the game together. I wasted a hell of a lot of time by trying to implement the Unity player input system, even though I had only used the old input manager at the time. After I finally figured it out, I snapped some colliders and rigid body, made them super heavy boys, and removed the friction. Voila, we've got 2 circles floating in space. Look at them, so happy and in love. So I thought about this. What if each character shines the light of the opposite color? If the other player touches that light, they get absorbed by it, game over. I put some different colored walls in and was pretty happy with the results, because if you tweak the color enough, the walls seem to disappear depending on which light is cast upon it. Last thing I did for the day was to figure out how I would do the light detection. Now the thing is, I've never made a stealth system. Hell, I barely know how to make an okay-ish platformer at this point, so at this time I'm thinking, what have I gotten myself into? So I started thinking, what am I actually trying to achieve? What's the core idea? What's it all mean? What am I trying to do here? I've got walls, light can pass through certain walls, but not others. Okay, that actually sounds a lot like a layer management now, doesn't it? And the light doesn't curve. Light is a bunch of straight lines. That's it. I need a line. So what I did is I put a raycast that goes from one character to the other. As long as the raycast hits a white wall when going from white to black, stay alive. And the other way around for black to white. If the raycast doesn't hit any wall in a given direction, then that character dies. Here you go, that's done. Saturday morning, I woke up motivated and full of energy. Grabbed a coffee, or 2, or 3, and then started sketching some levels. With prefabs set up, I had coded most of the gameplay last night, so I spent the morning designing some levels. At 11 AM, I had about 10 levels, and I sent them to a few friends to test and give me their feedback. While I was waiting for the feedback, I put together a simple start menu, a windscreen, and a quick tutorial on the first level. Now, a recurring problem came back from the playtest. It just wasn't clear what was happening in the game. When I had started implementing the 2D experimental lights, I wanted to have a black light cast from one of the characters. But the 2D experimental lights don't seem to cope with that. Like, for some reason they don't show up. It ended up being like a mess of shades of grey rather than a clear-cut black and white I was originally imagining. By midday, it was clear that I had to do something about it. I gave up on the clear-cut black and white look, finally replaced it with a paper background, and the lights would be more orangey to give it an organic look. This meant that I lost the hidden wall mechanic I had before. This also meant that suddenly half of my levels were just not interesting to play. No time to salvage them. I picked the ones that were still interesting after the graphic revamp, so about 5, and tweaked them until they worked. With that graphic revamp out of the way, I started working on a better win condition. I thought it would be cool if the circle we see in the Yin and Yang symbol would make an appearance. So I thought about a circle that would slowly fill in as we came close to your target. Before going to sleep, I decided to quickly implement some sound effects, find a Chinese theme music. I just wouldn't have the time to record it myself, as it packs would do. Sunday morning, I have to admit, I was a bit bummed. I had spent a whole afternoon on graphic revamp, which meant that I now had only 6 hours to get the game done and submitted. So I added post-processing to the game with a nice glow effect on the players and the win ring. I also added some particles on the player's death because particles are awesome and make everything more awesome. Once I was happy with all of it, I started to build into WebGL. With 2 hours left on the clock, I wrote a description for the HIO page, took some quick screenshots, and submitted 30 minutes before the deadline. This jam overall was an amazing experience. I really think that game jams are actually a great way to speed boost your learning when you're starting off. You get a taste of the high-paced rhythm when making games, and you also learn a bit more about yourself, what you can, what you cannot do. So highly recommended. If you haven't done one yet, go for it. I was lucky enough that I came up with a simple concept. That's very important. I could actually finish it within the time frame. But it's very easy to get caught up in concept that's just too ambitious for your skill level. You're in love with an idea and you just can't get it out. You can't think of anything else. Wait, no, we don't talk about that. That's 2 weeks later. I want to enjoy this for now. No. The other great thing about jams is that you get tons of constructive feedback feedback from players due to the rating period. Yin and Yang, my entry, ended up number 12 overall out of 295 entries. 1 month after the jam, I released the post-jam update for Yin and Yang, which adds 15 levels on top of bug fixes. You can check it out and play for free right now on itch.io. The link is in the description. I think that's my time. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.